We're just getting the other. Hi YouTube, hi Facebook, welcome. Happy New Year. First live of the new year. Welcome. Please tell us if you're here, if you're new. This is a class especially for all the newbies. And we have a random fly, but I have come prepared. It is summer in Cape Town, and I am on my wheelie chair today, and the feet just doesn't want to work with me. Is that? Oh,
Forgetting to mic up.
oh yeah. Okay, so it's vat hom hier boor en dan in. There we go. Sorry, we forgot Instagram's microphone.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Should work.
Okay. Yeah, so if you see me dooming random flies, just be grateful that I haven't got a fly swat. And okay, so anyone did anything exciting? Maybe I should are there people on yet?
Yes, hello, Ritzy, Moose.
Hello Ritzy, are you new?
And
I don't
Corsi
recognize.
And Lamise on Instagram. People
Hello.
on Instagram are always new.
Welcome guys. Tell us if you're new. I'm
and
Amanda.
then
And this,
Bianca.
hello Bianca. Long time no hear or see. Okay guys, I'm Amanda, and behind the scenes, that small screen on your left, that's Lisa, my daughter, and we're from a company called Fabric8, and we aim to please, firstly. Secondly, we aim to be your creative supplies go-to store. We're growing every day. We get new stuff. We have if there's anything ever that you need that you can't find, please let us know. We're always looking at suppliers. And I mean, just a few weeks ago, just before Christmas, I found something that someone has been looking for forever, and I eventually found it. So send us details. We have a pair of flies. Sorry guys, this is an ad.
A doom ad.
This is not. It's not doing. Yeah. So if you want to find us, we are at www.fabric, the word, and the number 8.co.za. And what is this? This is live Tuesdays, or it's called Create with Fabric8.
Not live Tuesday.
Not live Tuesday. And we try and do this every week at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. And we've changed the name for the reason of, load shedding and all of that. And we might sometimes have to move it up. But what do we do here is we chat. This is community building. I want there to be somewhere where, and I still have a fly. I want somewhere where we can all talk about stuff and ask things, and that's the reason why we also have WhatsApp groups. So we have a WhatsApp group for sewing, we have one for knitting, embroidery, crochet.
Yes, I put it in the chat for you guys to go join our WhatsApp groups.
Yes.
And for Instagram, it's the link in our bio. And actually, Brandon Grant is new.
Oh, hi Brandon.
He or she is on Instagram. And they said it's much better. Thanks for fixing the sound.
Sorry, we didn't fix it. We just forgot to put in
just forgot to do the sound.
to connect. Okay, guys. So this is the place where you don't have to stay all the time. We wish you would. But if you have a question, put it on a piece of paper. Leave it till Tuesday evenings, because everyone benefits by your question. Because if I don't know the answer, I don't claim to know everything. I will find the answer and give it to you next week. The WhatsApp groups are also awesome for that.
Okay, sorry. We had an issue on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It didn't stream to the right place, but we are live, and Ash is here, Lisa's here, Antoinette's here, and Gail is here.
Okay, so what do we...
That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Guys, so you keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
I don't actually know what I was saying. Okay, on the WhatsApp groups are very friendly. We monitor it. It takes a while to get on there, so don't get impatient if you've asked to join and you don't get approved immediately. We've had spam and bots and porn And this is the only way where we can actually monitor it is by actually
Preventing. We prevent it.
we monitor, we prevent it by giving time firstly from asking to be if you can join, and then actually physically going through every single person and every number and checking. All right, so it does take a day or 2 or 3 depending on how busy.
If it's over Christmas,
If it's over Christmas, it could be 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but we all know that's holiday. So we are open 24 hours a day. We even open over the whole of the festive season. We've had our holiday. We are not in the office every day over Christmas. We come in once a week to send our parcels. We have very exciting things for the new year. We are working on our website constantly. If ever something goes wrong, guys, don't get frustrated. Please just let us know. We need to know these things. We can't. It's almost like your computer has a memory, and we go into the website and it just does things, and then someone else does things, and they find our mistakes or faults for us. We actually just talked about giveaways again. Yeah, sometime this year we'll do some giveaways again. But otherwise, we do, as I said, chit chat here on a Tuesday or Tuesday evening, mostly Tuesday evenings, for about half an hour, asking questions, just talking. I don't know what's a pretty word to say. Talking poo emoji. And then at about 7:30, we start with a tutorial, which I normally prepare, and it's normally a pattern, or it'll be an instruction leaflet, a how-to, or something like tonight is a how-to. We have patterns. Every single pattern is free to use. You are just not allowed to sell our patterns as patterns, but you can sell product that you make from our patterns. They are free to download for the whole year. And then after a year, we actually include them in a book. We are working on one which can include the whole of the first two years patterns, and they're going to be sold either digitally or printed copies, so they will make awesome gifts. We've been saying this, I think, for 6 months, maybe for next Christmas. But that's just to recover, for the live and all the expenses of the equipment, because we keep upgrading. All right, so anyone have a question? I am the sewing expert. I taught sewing. I studied fashion design, so I try and answer most questions. We do not do. Oh, I hate flies.
Marshley says hi.
Hello,
on
Marshley.
Instagram. I have tried to tell our YouTube viewers to go to the right link. Who knows if they will be coming now? I can see some people are still watching the other one.
Oh, but
I can't.
Is it working though?
It is. We are live. We're just not live on the link I sent them.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine. Facebook is all right and quiet as usual. So if you are a lurker on Facebook, please say hello. We love hearing from our Facebook lurkers.
Guys.
And then all of our regulars are still on YouTube, and I can see the numbers are going up a bit, so I think people are switching.
Okay, guys.
So you haven't missed anything.
Yeah, you haven't missed anything. We've done nothing. Tell me if anyone's done something really awesome or something spectacular, or something that we can maybe, I don't know, share with the community. Maybe.
Marcel Pillay says hi. Lisa Bragg says evening, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys are late. It's absolutely not my fault for sending the wrong link. I'm here drinking, I assume, John's twist of lemon tonic water, and it might be the sourest thing I've ever done.
Oh, is it?
Like weird.
No. I don't like tonic water.
I thought it was gonna be like a light casual tonic. It's the only thing in the fridge.
I must get
It's
us
not
some.
light or casual.
Look at this fly. I'm gonna have to do it or whatever this is.
Okay, guys. So I don't know. Amanda was talking while I was trying to sort everything out. Hi, Teresa Swats on Facebook.
Hello.
It's nice to hear from our Facebookers. We have the WhatsApp groups. The link is in the chat. We have yeah, I'm talking to the mic. We have all the links in our bio on Instagram. If you haven't clicked there yet, go click. If you're on Instagram, it's a much better view on YouTube and Facebook. So head on over there and you can chat and engage in our polls and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we also have a lot of free patterns at www.fabric8.co.za/create. I don't know if you mentioned that. They are still up. I haven't taken down 2023 yet, but I will.
Yeah,
I forgot to. The only reason they're still there is because I forgot to take them off. So now's your chance. Run. Don't.
So they're all free to download, guys. Literally free. I make them all myself. So there is no, what is it called? Intellectual property issues, except if you're selling the patterns. Okay. So you can make the stuff. You can sell the stuff that you make. They're all free for download. I am sitting a little bit lower tonight. I thought I'd sit down. I'm normally standing because I'm working or sewing. And normally, as I said, we do the pattern and then I do a actual sewing tutorial. So you're welcome to go back to all of our old videos. There should be a video or a YouTube to match every pattern that we've done. But yes, I think, is anyone got any questions for the new year?
Especially on YouTube, please go click that like button. I see 16 of you here supporting us. I love that. Welcome to the new year.
Us, please.
Please press the like button. It helps YouTube show this type of content to people like you. So more people like you discover us and we can keep doing these live free sewing classes for free.
Live free sewing classes for free. Yeah, that's a lot of free, but it's free.
But it is. Hello,
it's completely.
Lynette.
Hello, Lynette.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah.
Yes, let us know what you guys did over the holiday break. If you had a break, if you had no break, tell us that also.
Did you make something? I was gonna sew and then I never did. I actually started sorting out my garage, which was an absolute poor emoji show.
I knitted a few scarves.
Oh yeah, you did. And you gave Christmas
gave Christmas scarves.
Yeah.
And I started this weekend was Matthew and my anniversary and we were just chilling. So I started a new knitting project. But now I decided that how many scarves can one knit? So I'm going to knit a blanket. So that's going to be like a year-long project.
Oh, cool.
And I undid it 3 times. But it's so much fun because I knit 300 stitches and then I see the mistake and then I have to pull all 300 out. And like this last time I was 300 deep and I saw the mistake and I was like,
oh jeez, no.
That's a lot of knitting but no results. But that's my New Year's resolution project. Hopefully at the end of the year I can show you guys a blanket.
Mine is to just keep sorting until I have space at home to sew again, because with the moving here and all the stuff that we don't use just went back in boxes to my garage. My garage was literally like, it looked like a storage room. So I'm going through every single box and sorting and put some shelves up, and it's been a pain, but it's going to be lovely when it's done.
Okay, Zido says hi. Hello. On Instagram. Hello. I might be butchering your name. I'm sorry. They sewed a skirt this holiday and 2 scarves and a summer dress.
Awesome. I just hit
also
the camera.
A newbie. Don't.
I didn't realize there was something that can hit the camera there.
And then Marcel says she made an amazing pig bag. And then another one.
Oh, pig bag. We should actually make a pattern for that. That's so easy to make.
And says, why is bias binding around tight concave curves so tricky?
Convex? No, what's
concave?
Convex. Is it an innie or is that an outie curve? Convex.
It would be a
cave. Cave is in. Concave is in. So what did she say?
Concave curve.
Okay. Bias binding in. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is quite a pain. What you need to do is you need to actually stretch the bias binding while you're working. so that you don't get those folds, because what's happening is there's too much fabric because it's a in curve and you're working bias binding, so you're going to get like little pleats all around here. So while you're working, stretch the bias binding so that it's actually in a weird way almost shorter, so then it lies down smoothly.
She says it's an innie.
It's an innie. Yes, I was right.
She also finished a pair of palazzo pants. She started 3 years ago at a sewing class, and she's in love with them. Have to try and make more. And Gail says, I'm looking for a good peg bag. Congrats to Marcel. And Marcel says, I don't like the traditional ones. This one is like a birdhouse. A bit different, but I love it.
Oh, that's a very cool idea. I'm going to steal your idea. We can do like a little bit of a quilting slash applique and quilting. Yeah.
Marcel says she's definitely going to try that. Let me just check everywhere else if we got any. Mary Ann on Facebook says hello.
Hello. Hi. Like. Click all the buttons you can click.
On YouTube, please click that like button.
And
I would love you forever.
And if you don't see the chat, it's because you're not subscribed. Please subscribe. YouTube won't spam you, I promise you. And then,
as usual, I can show you guys on YouTube how to find the chat, because people always struggle with it,
especially on the phone.
So if I go and it looks like this, you can go on live chat there, or maybe it's hidden somewhere. Maybe you go over there, it might just pop up here. Maybe you click that. Otherwise it might be listed here. So try that. Join our chat there. Or it might be listed there, or it might just have popped up.
Okay, guys, so we've told you before, on YouTube, tonight is not going to be that much of a benefit, but most evenings when we're actually doing tutorials or we are actually making pattern or something, we have two views or 3 views actually on YouTube and Facebook. Instagram only allows for a upright vertical. We can't do horizontal. We can't add any screens. So
you know what? I heard that Instagram now lets you stream from a software, but I haven't done any research on it.
Okay, but we'll look into that. But yeah,
maybe.
So if you want to see better, YouTube or Facebook is the way to go. All right. Okay, anyone else? Anyone really new to sewing? Maybe, what are you doing?
I'm trying to show them our viewers.
Oh.
Is it gonna work?
I don't know.
Oh,
okay. So maybe you can put a poll up and just ask people if they know or would know how to use commercial patterns, or are they slightly in the dark or whatever. He says taking my FaceTime.
Look at all those fancy ass views, guys. Okay.
All right. Okay, so just put it all up there. We've had many people ask this, and when I was teaching sewing,
Repeat, what's the question?
Who have used commercial patterns successfully is one. Never used it, don't know how to use it. All right, so when I was teaching, this was part of my curriculum, because obviously if you are learning how to sew, you can't make patterns and you're gonna have to buy patterns. So obviously patterns like mine, or I call them indie designers who make their own patterns and then put them on the internet, and you download them as PDFs. They have their own instructions and they will tell you how that works, and or you will watch YouTube like now. Okay, but if you've ever, this is a commercial pattern, and obviously guys, it doesn't look like this when you get it. It looks like this. It is a A4, A5. It looks like that when you buy them. This is just one specific one. And the reason I brought this is because this is the one that I use to in my classes.
Sorry. I don't know if this is aimed at you or something that's in chat, but Lisa K says maybe you can explain what they are, the commercial patterns. Did you just do that?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So commercial patterns are patterns made by big designer companies. So Vogue, Patrick, McCall's, Style. These are the patterns that you can buy in it used to be most fabric shops. It isn't most fabric shops anymore. I do know there is a website, an online website that do sell quite a few of these. I know they have been difficult for some people to get hold of, but maybe that is something, if you join our WhatsApp group, someone will know where to get them close to you. Okay, so these are pre-designed, the patterns made, everything. You buy the pattern, you cut the pattern out, and there are certain things that you have to take into account when doing this, and this is what I'm going to explain to you tonight. Okay.
Teresa says, when it comes to commercial patterns, I'm like load shedding, totally in the dark and very scared of them.
I know. See, this is why I included it, because for you to start sewing, you need patterns, and you need to know how they work. And a lot of people have major issues with I haven't spoken fluent long English in a while. Can you hear my language is a little bit stuck?
It's fine, we'll do the rest of the class in Afrikaans.
Okay, yeah, goed, hier gaan ons. No, okay, so there's a few things that people don't know, and so people get frustrated. I know a lot of people, I mean, when I was younger, nobody explained this to me, and we used to work on these, and I could never get the size right. It was always either miles too big for me or freaking miles too small for me. And there's a reason for that. And I will explain all of this. And this leaflet that you can download from our website will also explain it. So if you don't understand what I'm saying. All right. So this is literally, we're going to go through everything that comes in there. And I'm going to explain everything. So this is the instruction or the leaflet or the pamphlet or the whatever you want to call it that you will be downloading. And it has pictures of exactly this pattern. All right. So if you look, this as I said, comes in an A5, and it normally opens up in the top here with the little flip lid. Okay, so this is the outside or the front of your envelope. I'm going to sit a little bit like this so that I can do like the teacher thing. Maybe I should get like a pointer.
With the cat's laser pointer.
Laser pointer. Okay, so basically that is New Look. That is the name of the pattern company. Now in this case, the name is Simplicity. I see that that's not a Simplicity. That's a New Look. Okay, so it could be a Simplicity. McCall's, other fabric companies, did you check?
I did, but I told it not to change your words.
Yeah.
I don't think it changed your words.
Yes, other fabric companies. Okay.
Yes, read the beautiful instructions. Let me check if it's on yours. Let me check. Where is this? The first page.
Yeah,
Name of the pattern company. In this case, the name is Simplicity. There are other fabric companies such as McCall's, Vogue, New Look, and Butterick.
Yeah, this is not a fabric company. It's a
this
pattern.
is your writing. I'm
Is
telling
it?
you, you wrote that. I pulled up your writing, yeah.
Oh, God.
I also put it through
Okay.
a plagiarism checker, so I know it's your word.
Okay. All right. So it's not fabric companies. It is pattern companies. Already first mistake. Let's mark that. All right.
-1.
Yeah, -1. Okay. So you get McCall's, you get Vogue, you get New Look, you get Butterick, you get Burda, Simplicity, Style. There's quite a few different ones. Okay. So next thing we're going to talk about is this number at the top here. It might be somewhere else on the pattern, depending on whose pattern it is. So don't be, but that's why I've given you this like number instruction. There's a little number on the actual pattern sheet. Okay, so this pattern, this is the style or the pattern number. So this is the number. Let's say you have a new look 6508 in a size 10, but you would like to actually maybe have a size 12 in it or a size whatever. When you speak to the fabric shop or the pattern shop, you will tell them that you are looking for a new look 6508, okay? And they will know that it is this pattern. So you're not going to phone them and say, I'm looking for a new look where that brunette girl with the blue and no, they're not going to know. That's the identifying number. Okay, all right. Then just below it, it says is the different sizes. Okay, so on this one, for instance, we have US 10 to 22, French 36 to 48, Euro 38 to 50. Now this sizing thing is where most people make their mistakes, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, then on here, number 4 is that's the design variation. So it's not just this little dress that she's got on, because that is that dress. It has an open back, then it has one with sleeves, it has a longer one, it has without sleeves. So it gives you different variations by like just changing a little bit of the style. So for a beginner, firstly, I would always say make sure that it says easy or beginner or starter or 1 hour. They all have these the easier patterns. So when you start, choose something simple, guys. Don't make a wedding dress, please. Okay, but what I always say is don't choose a pattern with just one variation here, because then you are paying whatever these patterns are costing now, and you're only getting one dress. While on this one, for instance, you get quite a few variations. You also get variations where there's a shirt, a pants, and say a jacket. So in actual fact, you're getting 3 different patterns. So don't choose something that only has one design variation, because then you're paying a lot for one design. Okay, all right. So
we have a few comments.
Yes, go.
Okay, Bianca says, yes, the sizing drives me crazy. I wish it was in centimeters and not like 36, 58, 40, 16, 18, 20. And then Lisa Brake says, McCall Trading in KZN is the online source. I ordered from them on the 21st of December and received my patterns yesterday, but it's because they were closed for Christmas.
I'll ask if you can you Google it. Is there a link? Can you send us a link so we can share it?
I'll send the link shortly.
Okay.
Karen Jordan says Stitch Witch and easy stitch patterns are fairly easy to use.
Yes.
Yeah, Bianca says easy stitch patterns available at Studio 47 at Cape Gate.
Yeah.
And then Lisa Bragg says New Look, McCall's, Vogue, Simplicity, and Butterick are all one company.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Cool. And then they're talking about how much it's storming in Joburg.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have a storm. We are heat sensitive people. Okay. All right. So that's the variations. Now, next, it says 5. What was my number 5? Oh. Okay. Sometimes, not always, they will make up a garment, so you can actually see the dress on a person. Some patterns, especially if they're vintage patterns, this will be a drawn pictures. We all know those like vintage pattern envelopes with the drawn pictures of the dress. Well, those are the older ones, but the newer ones normally have a picture of a model wearing it. Okay, so now we're going to turn to the back of the envelope. All right, and we are now at number 6. Number 6 is, I mean, it's over there. Oh, can you zoom in from the top? maybe.
Let's see how close I can get. That's as close as I can get.
Well, it's probably closer than me holding it in front of the camera.
Okay, if you move slightly up, down, sorry, down. There. That's the closest we can get.
Okay, so on the back of the pattern, I'm going to just lift it quickly for Instagram. We are now looking at these pictures here. All right. A lot of people don't realize this and they don't actually see it or notice it. But these are, I'm going to just line drawings of the patterns. I'm just wanting to use my words. But very interesting. Most always, this pattern on the back of the envelope is the back view of the different garments, while the drawings on the front of the envelope is the front view. So if you're looking at that one, that on the picture you can
turn it around. Yeah, I was wondering what's happening now.
Okay, so if you're looking at this one, you can see that there is an open back, but if you're looking at the drawing, it actually just shows the front. So if you're interested to know, then if you look at the back, you can see the design features that are on the back. So for instance, if you are, if it's a skirt pattern and it doesn't look like it has a zip or a button or something, that's how you know what the back looks like. Okay, so that is normally what that is. Okay, so then next, number 7 is at the bottom here. I'm going to just quickly lift again to show Instagram. So it's this bit there. It says suggested fabrics. Okay. Now, guys, people used to come to me with a pattern and then they just buy the prettiest fabric they saw. Okay. So when you do pattern making, patterns are very specific to fabrics. Okay. So Firstly, you have the thing of a woven fabric and a knitted fabric, okay? Then, in both of these, obviously, in woven and knitted, you can also have a woven stretch fabric, and a knit fabric is almost always by default stretch, okay? So, when you go into a shop and you say, I want some stretch fabric, that is actually not that's not what you should be saying. You should say, I want a knit, which is like t-shirting or anything that's actually knitted, or woven. And woven is those fabrics that are like that. And how do you quickly identify a woven? Is it can fray. So if you cut a little square of a woven fabric, you will be able to fray both at 90 degrees. That's woven, okay? But yonks ago, wovens were not stretch. If you think of the 1980s jeans we all wore, they were non-stretch. They only stretched a little bit after you jumped into them in the morning, and then by evening they are like loose fitting. That's because of the fabric is a cotton, and the cotton is stretchy and it breathes and it, okay. But so if you think of today's jeans fabric, that is a woven fabric because it will fray, but it is a stretch woven. Okay. So think about, let's go. I am designing, firstly, this is a pattern for a legging. All right. Okay. So a legging is made out of lycra knit, so it's some sort of knit fabric, but it also has some elastane or something knitted in there, so it gives it more stretch and recovery. Okay, so we've bought a leggings pattern, and then we go and we buy the fabric that we have as sheets on our beds. Now, the reason why a legging, when you take it out of the closet, is this big, but it fits a bum this big, is because it stretches. But the pattern is much smaller because it stretches. So guys, this section is actually very important if you're new to sewing. So it says suggested fabrics. Now we're looking at this dress, and some of them are Okay, so a lot of these names you're not going to get to know. And guys, a lot of people have asked me, oh, can you teach us about fabrics? No, I can't. There are thousands, millions maybe. Okay. The best thing, my best thing is I feel fabric in the shop and I check it and I feel if it's got stretch. That's how you learn. Okay. So, but if you're new and you don't actually know what fabric to buy, this suggested fabric section is the part you go to the fabric shop with and you tell them, okay, I want to make this pattern and these are the suggested fabrics. And mostly, hopefully, those people actually know some of these names, and that gives them an indication if it's a knit or a stretch woven or just a woven. Okay, so some of these are called chalice, chambray, cotton types, crepe, gingham, lightweight denim, linen types, lightweight stretch wovens. So if you're thinking of a stretch woven, again, you get really heavy types of like jeans, stretch wovens, and you get a really soft, cottony stretch. So all of these fabrics, except for that lightweight stretch woven, but they're all wovens. Okay, so this, for instance, is a dress that you will not make out of t-shirt fabric or lycra or swimming costume fabric. I'm just trying to give you stuff like jersey fabric. No, this is a cottony or a woven fabric. All right. So this pattern is designed to be slightly bigger than your body because the fabric won't stretch. So you need what is called breathing room or movement room in the pattern. So the pattern is designed for a woven. All right. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Teresa asks, say I want to make this dress. Do I need one of those sewing doll thingies?
No, you never need one of those sewing dolls things. That is okay. So we all want them. I wanted one. I had to have one. Luckily for me, I was working with models, runway models. Okay. So my doll was exactly the size we ordered our models on. Okay, so that sounds really creepy, I know, but we would have a model that say, I don't even know, 86, 80, 88. That's a bust, waist will be smaller than that, but anyway, and this is the hips, okay? So we would go to a casting agency or model agency and we would tell them, we want 10 girls closest you can get to this measurement because that's our doll size. Okay, so then it is perfect to have a doll. Okay, it is perfect to have a doll if you can have a doll made in your size and you know you're not going to lose or pick up weight or droop your boobs or your bum's going to start drooping. This is the problem with human bodies, is that we are not set in stone and we are all different everywhere. So even if you thin and you look like a runway model, you might not be a runway model size 10. So my problem with those dolls is even the adjustable ones, besides that they just irritate me, you should make things for people that actually are going to wear it. So if you're making something for yourself, you fit on yourself. If you're making something for your daughter, you fit on your daughter. Okay? Those, I know it looks really cool and you always see these great fashion designers with these dolls, but we all forget that they are working with model size, so they can have a doll that is exactly the size of the models they're going to order. So it looks really cool. It is difficult if you're not exactly model size or generic model shape. This is also what I think is a problem with people who design on these dolls, is these dolls are not human shape. They are perfect shape, and none of us are perfect in the what's that whole thing that what's it called, the perfect something ratio thing. We
Golden
are.
triangle.
Yeah, we are not. Okay, so there are quite a few YouTube tutorials on how to make your own shape doll with, I think it's like duct tape and all sorts of things.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, that'll help you. Remember, when you do make a doll for yourself, that you lift these puppies up and make sure that they are there where they need to be, because you don't want to design an evening wear dress that's quite tight fitting for your relaxed Sunday morning no bra look. Okay. All right, so my suggestion, if you want a doll, get one, because it's a nice to have. It is definitely not something you need. Okay, so you will.
Says, those perfect dolls are the reason we make our own custom clothing.
Exactly. All right, okay, so the next bit is number 8, and I called it here notions you will need for the outfit. No, notions are all the small add-ons. Buttons, zips, things like that. Okay, on this pattern, however, it's called requirement. Whatever it is, if you see invisible zipper, then you must know that's the notion section. So it'll tell you what you need. So it says here 124-inch zipper. Now this is why I always suggest that you have 2 tape measures, one that has centimeters on both sides, and one like this that has centimeters on the one side and inches on the other side. All right, and it says 24-inch zipper. So I'm going to go to 24 and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to see that's a 61. Now I don't think you get a 61 zip, you do get a 60 centimeter zip. So you can always go longer in your zip. You can't go like 5 centimeters shorter unless you know how to make sure that it still fits. Okay, all right, it says 1 skirt hook and eye. It says 1 7-inch invisible zipper, and that is for and here it'll say for view A and B. Where's my pattern? Yeah, okay, so that's view A and B. All right, so those are the slightly longer dresses, and if you look at their backs, they don't have open backs. So that is the long 60 centimeters up. Then the view D and C has the back open zip. So it only needs a 7-inch zip from the waist down. All right. Okay. All right. And then I've previously had someone ask me, this is just an interesting by fact. Someone's asked me, oh, but can't I just make the dress without the zip? Okay. So let me explain. Most of us, I'm sure there are people who can, but I'm like contortionists. Most of us cannot fit through our own waist. That sounds really strange, okay? But if something...
I bet you I can. Let's try it.
It sounds really strange. But if you have something fit, I'm not talking about knits or stretches, guy. Stretch fabric. If you have something that's fitted in your waist, so think about a pants that's fitted in your waist. You cannot get that pants off if it doesn't have a zip. Now, the same with a dress. If you have a dress that's fitted at your waist, doesn't matter how big it is below the waist or above the waist, you physically won't be able to get it off your hips or over your shoulders. That is why we always have an opening on either the back or the side or on a pants or a skirt. Okay, so you cannot fit through your own waist. That's how I remember that. Okay, so those are the notions you'll need. Okay, so next bit is number 9, and this is where the tricky bits come. So I might have to make some notes now to, let me just get past my scribble, because I do scribble. Okay. Okay, so the next bit is body measurements. Okay, in this area, I'm gonna read my bit and then I'm gonna explain. Simplicity provides a sizing help measure. The website is Do not choose your pattern size based on ready-to-wear sizes. Very important. So if you're 12, don't ever go buy a 12 unless you know you were a 12 new look. Okay? All right. So I will actually, this is, I'm going to just start explaining it. Okay. So if you look, we remember when we looked at the front, we had US size 10 to 22. We had French 36 to 48. And we have Euro 38 to 50. Now, can you see why I say, you can't use this. We are supposed to be European, close to European sizes, but we ain't. We ain't. Even though they say that, that's not true. Okay? Because this, yeah, okay. So how do we know what size we are? Okay. So we're gonna go, if you look at this, it has sizes, 7 sizes in one, okay? And then on the right-hand side, it has a French section. Do you see the French? It says, Je ne fais pas patron septali. I cannot speak French. Can you hear that? Okay? All right. So interesting. If you look closely, I am going to try. If you look at the English side, the words are in English. If you look at the right end here, it says inches. You see on the English side. All right, guys, very important. But if you look at the French side, that's centimeters. Okay? So for Bianca saying, can't it just be in centimeters? It is.
Is this what they all look like?
Most of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're mostly all the same. But anyway, this is one that has everything. That's why I chose.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to be able to speak French. No, you don't. Okay. All right.
Match.
So if you look on the English side, I use this menu to figure out this menu. On the English side, it says sizes. I'm making it bigger. It'll say 10, 12, 14, 16. And we're not going to do it. Okay. And then it says European sizes. Okay. So those first sizes is your US sizes. See? Your European sizes will be 36, 38, 40, 42. Okay? So that, can you see that looks like our sizing? Because a 16, I think a 16 here is a 40 or a 42. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, okay. So it says the two sizes, then it says bust, waist, hip, and then it has another measurement, okay? Back, neck to waist, but we're going to work with these, okay? So bust, we're going to just work on the size 10. The bust here is 32.5 inches, guys. And the waist is 25 inches. Hip, 34.5 inches. Okay, so that's a problem. I mean, you can convert them, but you don't need to, because you've just bought this in the fabric shop and you don't have measurements and want to convert. So now we're going to go to the French side and we're going to see that it says talus. We don't need that. We can see that sizing. Okay. Secondly, it says talus, that word, I don't know how you say it. That word means size, okay, in France. So it says talus, I don't know. And then it says Française. That means, okay, so this is in French. I'm just going to put it here. In France, this is the 38. Do you see where what's happening here? You have a 10, you have a 38 and a 36. Now, I don't know about you guys. If you're a size 10, you definitely not a 36 or a 38 in our country. I think a 10 is probably a 34. 8 is a 32, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay. So this is where the problem comes in. That you cannot work on the sizing. All right. So what are you going to... Then it says... And it again gives you the European size, which we already have. Okay. But right under there, it goes poitrine. I don't know. I'm going to go with poitrine. But right next to it says busto. Busto. So that's obviously bust. So that's 83. And it's centimeters. Then it says...
Move a bit that way. Yeah.
Then it says, Tyler, I don't know what that word is. Cintura. We can figure that out. Center, waist, cintura. Okay? Cintura is 64 centimeters. Remember, we're only working on the size 10 now. And then it says, I used to do this with my students. It's your hanchas, your canderas. It's your hips, your hunches, and your canderas. Okay, those are, you can figure it out just by tracing it over. Okay, so the word there is the hunches. I'm assuming this is where haunches maybe comes from, the word.
I don't know.
Canderas. It just sounds like hips, man. Waist, cintura, candera, and busto. Huh? It sounds, okay. And then, and that is 88 centimeters. I am listening.
Oh gosh, okay. Lee asks, what is a commercial pattern making?
A commercial pattern is a bought pattern like this. You find it in the factory fabric shops, and it has the pattern inside, and you just cut it out.
Antoinette says, I appreciate when patterns show finished garment sizes.
Oh,
and Lisa,
we're getting there. Okay.
Lisa Bragg says the reason why we class as the European sizing is that in SA we use the metric system of measuring. USA and a couple other countries use imperial. She says it has nothing to do with our actual sizing.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't
know. Yes, I know that, but I wasn't gonna go metric.
Okay.
And
no, well, I mean, yes. I know we use the European sizes.
Yes.
But sometimes they're
not. But if you buy from, for instance, Zara.
Yeah.
Which is European. It's a Spanish company. You definitely not a size 10 if you're a size 10.
Antoinette says my canderas don't lie.
No, mine neither. And mine, yeah.
Hunches.
My milkshake. My busto.
My busto. Brings all the boys to the yard.
You can also,
let me just check Facebook.
You can also go poitrine. My poitrine brings all the boys to the yard. Yes. That's it. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you have centimeters, guys, and it's always good to either somewhere on a slip of paper write down your measurements. They might go slightly up. They might go slightly down. Okay. So this is what you need to fit in. So if you are an 83, you'll see the size difference to the next one is 87. So you're going to either go slightly smaller or slightly bigger, depending on how you figured it. If you fall right in the middle, you're going to look at the type of pattern. Is it a stretchy pattern? Then you can go on the smaller side. If it's not stretch fabric, then you're going to rather go on the bigger side because you can tailor it a little bit. All right. Okay. So this is your actual bust measurement. This is your actual waist measurement. And this is your hip measurement. So you are going to always go on the French side and you are going to actually look for the centimeter. That says inches. This says. And you're just going to use the English side to translate the French, Portuguese, whatever side. Okay. All right. So that is how you know. So you're going to, depending on what the pattern is, for instance, this pattern, where is this what matters here? So bust definitely matters. Waist definitely matters. This is a little bit of a full skirt. So if you need to fit into the bust and the waist, okay? Because it's loosed over the hips, so you might get away with it. Unless you are a really tiny bust and waist with really, say, big butt,
Basta.
big hands, big canderas. Okay, then you have to just check, and that is where that comment of just now comes in. Okay, so we're going to look at that, but let's just go to number 11, and it says we're going to skip the fabric quickly. Garment measurements, because I'm talking about this now. Okay, so when it says garment measurements, okay, that, and if you look at it, you'll see that the size, it actually, what happens is they give you the finished garment measurement. Okay, so for instance, if you're making a t-shirt, they're not going to give you your bust measurement, because a t-shirt, it's quite a bit bigger than your bust measurement. So they're going to give you the finished t-shirt measurement. So if you think about buying clothing online, that size chart, normally, like with t-shirts, they will give you a bust, and that'll be this complete measurement. Okay, this is what the garment size is. So let's say you are 83 bust and you're a 64 waist, but you are 110 hip. I'm just making it up as I go. Okay, so 83 fits into a 10. 64 US 10, let's just put that out. Your 64 fits into a US 10, but now you're worried, will your hip fit into this dress? So, okay, and this is exactly where you see that the hip measurement is not on here. So they also don't think it's that important because of the wide skirt. Okay, but for instance, let's say we're making a pants and we fit there in the shirt and in the pants waist, but the hip is a little bit bigger. Then you're going to check your hip on the finished measurements, and if that finished measurement, let's say because we're going from 88 to 12, so that's like 22 centimeters bigger than the pattern, which is not necessarily possible, but okay. So then you would possibly have to go up a size on your pants and down a size on your shirt. But that's how you use this, and that's how you figure it out. Okay. All right. So fabric, that's the little bit there. It says here what? Okay, fabric. What fabric? Where's the freaking fabric? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay. So you will see that on fabric, it again, centimeters on this side, it on A, B, C, D.
You can still hold it flat now. I'm doing
Sorry. Okay, so there's pattern A, B, C, and D. And these are all, can you see, on 150 wide? And then we are taking a size 10, say in pattern C, and it says 2.1 meter. Okay, so now if I am going to make pattern C, many times they don't actually, sometimes they give you different fabric widths. This obviously, because of the skirt, they actually don't suggest that you use a less wide fabric. All right. Okay, but sometimes they give you 140 wide, 1 meter wide fabrics, because you get like 1.2, you get 1.1, you get 90 centimeters, 1.4 wide. So, but that is where you get the amount of fabric you need. Now, everyone's going to go, this is a freaking poo emoji full of stuff that I must remember. Take this with you to the fabric shop. Because
Take a photo. Take a photo of it.
Take a photo. There we go. See, I had to take the photo. Okay. Take a photo, Because the people in the fabric shops, I always say, there's always someone who actually has done this or know their job. And they will be able to help you with this. Okay, all right. Next, there is normally a section at the right bottom that says the words without nap, with nap, and it says
Nappity nap.
Nappity nap, yes. It normally has a star without nap, 2 stars for with nap. I'm going to explain it to you now. And then 3 stars. Oh, I need to speak. With or without. Okay, so what is nap? Nap, best explanation for fabric with a nap is velvet. Okay, so what do we call the hand of the fabric? It's how it feels. And if you feel velvet like this, if you push it to one side, it's going to be dark. If you push it to the other side, it's going to be light. Which, if you haven't done this before, which I have when I was very young, if you make a dress or a skirt or whatever and you do not watch or check for nap, you will get a pattern, a skirt with velvet running down and velvet running up. Okay, so a nap can also be a fabric where all the patterns, all the flowers are upright. It's the same thing. It's like what it means is patterns that go in one way. So if you have, I don't know, people standing, they have to be upright. Don't make Dory the Explorer go upside down. This also means nap. Upright, one-way fabric. One-way fabric is another word for nap. Just remember that velvet is also a one-way fabric. But, so you can't have this flower upside down on your pants because they're all upright. But then you do get fabrics that have flowers. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter, nobody's going to see that flower is upside down because there's 100 others that are upright. Okay, so this and velvet is with nap. Why is that important? Because with nap, you might have to use more fabric than without. Because without nap, you can swap the fabric around because it's all side, same side fabric. But with nap, you have to lay your patterns all in the same direction. All right, so if you look at the fabric bit again, A is 150 centimeter and it has 2, so it says with nap, so it has 2 stars all the way. Okay, so with nap means it's a one-way fabric. Without nap means it is a all side, same side fabric. And if it has 3 stars next to it, it doesn't matter. You're going to use the same amount of fabric. Okay, so sometimes you'll get, like if you look here, it doesn't on this one because it doesn't have 115, but sometimes you'll see on 115 with nap, you're going to need 3.5 meters and 150 centimeters. It can change the yardage. That's all. Okay.
And Lisa Bragg says, always ask at the fabric store what the width of the fabric is before they cut.
Yes.
Always ask for an extra 10 centimeters of fabric on
25 or half meter.
For the pattern, as I never find a store that cuts straight.
Yes. Okay, so unfortunately fabric isn't cheap, but I would always suggest that you buy at least 25 centimeters extra, just because this might have been worked out on 150 and your fabric is 140. And the measuring of that fabric, I always find that very strange because you'll get to home and there'll be like raw edges with wording on, and that is that measured in, is it not measured in? So I always buy half a meter extra, and then that half a meter I use for my small projects. All right, okay, just as
I say, she usually does 1 meter.
yeah, it depends on how expensive. I mean, if you're buying wedding dress fabric, okay, well, that's even more important to have extra. But if you're buying really expensive fabric, or you're buying a small piece of like really expensive lace for your top, I would make very sure, actually take out the pattern and lay it. You know what? Do not ever feel rushed in the fabric shop. If there's people waiting in a queue, ask for an open table, take the fabric there. You are welcome to lay out your pattern. This is your business. This is your hobby. They don't like moan and groan if you're looking at different size canvases and measuring and in a hobby shop. So take your time. All right. Just as a side note, some patterns, like this is a McCall's pattern, have this on this little flap. Okay, so just sometimes what happens is that is perforated and it can tear off and then you lose your sizing. Okay, so this is another trick that I do, is I actually plastic cover them, especially if it's a pattern you're going to use a lot. I put them in a big envelope. I plastic cover both sides, and because it's also an absolute pain to fit the pattern back into that small envelope. It's like a sleeping bag. The bag or the envelope is never big enough. Okay. Okay, inside the envelope, let's get our pattern out here. Inside the envelope, I'm going to just run through this because all of this is actually really well explained in the notes and also on your pattern sheet. Okay, so when you get your pattern inside, this is a very old pattern, guys, and you can see how I have it's been used. You'll see now on the pattern. So you normally get either one of these sheets, two, depending on how intricate the pattern is. Okay, again, you get the pattern and the pattern number and nicely the different A, B, C, and D, and it also gives you the front and the back. All right, and then it has this little
Lot of mine.
I'm running out of diagram or whatever that actually shows you which pattern pieces you need for which one of these dresses, because remember, it has all the pattern pieces for all of this. So you're not going to use the open back, so they're not going to give you the open back bits. You're going to only, let's say we're doing A, so it says here bodice, yes, A, yes, interfacing, 3, yes, 4, yes, 5, yes, 6, yes, 7, yes, 8 for the pocket, and then these, can you see, it's all C and D, so they have no A in there, so we're not going to use them. All right, then it also gives you a layout suggestion of how to lay out your fabric. Now,
as you need your coffee tonight's a tough one.
So I always told my students with layout of fabric, if you have your piece of fabric laid out like this, all right, and it's normally folded, double, I'm going to bring it down. So that is your 150, all right, and whatever the pattern is, it doesn't really matter, all right. I always say to my students, imagine a person's body next to your fabric, all right, okay. So you want all the heads of your patterns. This is just general rule. They sometimes break it. I never break it. All right. If they break it for a reason, it'll be to save fabric. But first, always try and do it this way, because then you never have to worry about nap. Okay. So I always say, every single pattern piece, the head must lie in the same direction. Okay, so now that someone goes, okay, but I've got a pants pattern and it doesn't have a neck, where's the head? Well, if you don't know where your head is wearing a pants, I can't help you. Okay, so the head, so the waist is the head on a pants. Okay, okay. On a bodice, the neck bits are the heads. On a sleeve, the sleeve curve, the top of the sleeve is where your head is. The top, with other words, the top of the fabric, the pattern, all lying in exactly the same direction, then you never ever have to worry about nap. Okay. All right. This is just an explanation of this page. All right. And then normally,
This is so much.
yeah, ne?
What the hell?
Yeah. Then normally this is an exact description of how to make the garment. All right. What is nice about this is if you've never made a dress before, there's certain sequences of doing things. So, for instance, you won't you won't put the zip in if the waist isn't done, because the zip has to run through the waist. So there's like 1, 2, like steps. So I don't follow this, but if I make something that I've never made before, and I didn't study fashion design, so before then, I would use this just to sequence the work, because sometimes you get to a certain part and then you go, oh, how am I going to do this side dot now? Because I've already sewn the side seam. Okay? You have to do the dots first. Okay? So this is a very nice way of learning the works, the way this thing, the Lego house is put together. Is you start with the basic bottom, then you build the windows to window height, and your door goes in before you start building, and then at window height you put all your windows in, then you build up to a certain. That's the same. This gives you. And then I always used to say to my students that if you read something and it says stay stitch and you don't know what a stay stitch is, hey, there's the word. Now you can Google it. So this is like almost like a.
Oh, I can tell you.
Like
it's instructions to put your puzzle together.
Yes.
Says Bianca.
Yes, but the puzzle can be put together in any way. It's literally step by step. And if you haven't done this before, guys, please follow these steps. You don't have to read it. Look at the pictures. If you're like me, you look at the pictures, because you will get trapped in a point at some point, especially if something's lined. That's a certain way. Inseam pockets, there's a certain way of putting inseam pockets in. If you don't follow that system, you will get to a point where you go, oh, my pockets ain't finished and I've already finished it, so I have to undo. Okay, so this is what this is. This is basically the old-fashioned version of a YouTube tutorial on the paper, like we used to do it. Okay, and as I said, it gives you the vocab. If you don't like paper, then you can Google. All right. Okay. So next, you will inside the pattern, and I always keep this part. This is what the actual pattern looks like. These are the bits of the pattern we haven't used. It is huge, and it's really crap paper. And I suggest that if you find sometimes like this pattern, I mean, obviously I use this pattern, I don't know, it must have been like 500 times. Different students use this pattern. This would have gone, if I cut this out, it would have gone to waste. It would have broken within a week. So what do I do is I'm going to just show you on a small piece. Okay. So these patterns aren't cut out, because my students had to trace it, because we couldn't cut. We needed all the sizes. All right. So what do? This is iron on fusing that I iron onto the back, and it makes your patterns last forever. We don't have that, so don't ask. It makes your patterns last forever, and this is also a very good thing to do if you are going to be tracing your patterns, because look, if you a 10, so you're going to cut off all these sizes, and then next month you're a 12, then you don't have 12 anymore. All right, so I used to trace all my patterns, and then I would envelope the 10, keep it, and put it, yeah. So the nice thing about this is you'll see some of them, they break. You can see that there, for instance, is 2 pieces. So if they start breaking, you just iron another piece onto the back.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Shah thinks that's very clever.
Yes. And you can literally see how we have, you can see how all my students, we use we might have used 10 maybe once or twice, it seems, but you can see how we used all the sizes. So what's nice about this paper, it's very it's sort of very thin, so and that is also thin, so you can mark through it with the tracing or the pens. All right. Okay, so that's inside the pattern. I have given you all of that. Then we are running out of time, and I would like to actually talk to you guys a little bit about general questions. Please read the rest. It just explains what all these little marks are on the pattern. Yeah, it is very intricate. This is a whole, this used to be a whole lesson, because it is, you know, you buy a pattern and then imagine you have to, for the first time, you've just gotten a sewing machine, and this is given to you.
I ignore that. That's like,
yeah, but this is,
you know what that back page is? The back page
like
is
white noise.
No, like the back of a book. No one reads it. No one
Exactly.
cares who's the editor and the barcode.
And people
That's
are immensely frustrated, because you can, just by looking at what we did about the sizing, you can imagine you are a 10, you've been a 10 for the last 20 years, you buy a 10 pattern. But you are not 10.
Not that thing.
Right. So these are just all the pattern markings. The rest of this. Why is this one here? Something else. This is all very self-explanatory, how to cut out all the pattern markings, very nicely explained. So those are not the important bits. The most important thing is to figure out how much fabric, what type, guys, what type of fabric. What type of fabric is this pattern made for? Okay. That's where you read that. Okay, guys, that is it. And also, just look at this with a big envelope. Look how easy this is. Oh, and if you use A4 paper, those A4 paper boxes are the perfect. Look at this. Look at this. Anyone ever packed the pattern away that quick? It's absolutely perfect to stack your patterns in like this, if it's in an envelope like this. Okay, guys, we have 10 minutes for free questions.
Okay, so
anyone found that helpful? Did I, even though you've been using it and you just never realized something that I just gave you? I want to know that I've made a difference.
So we did a poll.
Yes.
Have you used commercial patterns before? Yes, successfully was 41%. Yes, sort of 29%. Yes, I was in industry 0. No, not at all, 29%.
Okay. So hopefully this will make you all more successful. Because after figuring out this is also, there's a lot on YouTube about changing patterns and making patterns fit you and things. But you can't use any of that information if you're choosing the wrong size at the beginning.
Juju on Facebook says, that's wisdom, will do that iron at the back of the pattern thing. And I also never read that. I think that's that other side of the pattern.
Okay, guys. So it's literally the
It's like the T's and C's. Who would read that?
well, yeah. Okay, so this is literally the cheapest. I don't want to say the cheapest and give you a price because I haven't bought for a while. It is the iron-on violin, but you can buy a slightly better quality if you feel like you want to. Like this pattern was used, I cannot tell you how many times. Every single student that took sewing lessons from me, which could be, I don't know, I should maybe one day try and count, but I don't know if I've still got the details. Could be like 500. Use this single pattern. I never changed the pattern once because my book and everything is based on this pattern. And that pattern is still 100% usable.
Lisa Bragg says, be very careful as well as the big 5 patterns are all designed on a B cup bust.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Bianca asks, could you order 2054 overlocking sewing needles?
2054. Can she give me more information? For what machine is this?
Overlock.
Yeah, well, is it an industrial or normal? Or brother or singer or Benina? 2054 overlocking needles. Does not sound like a Schmetch code. Does not sound like a Schmetch code.
Okay, I'm sure she'll.
Bianca, send me a WhatsApp. A what?
Singer domestic.
Okay, so it's a very interesting thing. I recently heard, and I don't know if I recently heard on some forum, people go raving and telling other people to buy Singer needles. And then I spoke to the brother technician a while ago when he was in Cape Town. And he said to me that Singer needles are shorter than normal needles and than all other needles.
I could probably Google that.
By a fraction, guys. But remember, this is all technically or mechanically. So I can get, if it's Singer branded, I can get them, but they will have to be special order.
Oh, it doesn't say anything if I Google it.
No, because it's not known. It's not something that's out there. But because he works on, and this is very important, especially on embroidery machines, because the whole system is so technical that if you have a 2 mil or millimeter or 2 mil shorter needle, it actually can screw up the machine's tension and everything. So I'm not saying this is a fact. Well, I probably could if he told it to me. I mean,
you probably can't.
But I say everything else he tells me is a fact about brother machines.
Don't.
But I don't know this for a fact myself. But I have never, I'm saying this and then I'm going to get like, I have never bought overlocking needles. And I have had a Bernina overlocker. I have had an Elma I still have an Elma. I had a Singer heavy duty overlocker. And I've had a brother overlocker. And in all of those machines, I have put in normal sewing needles. So if I use my overlocker for a, let's say, like evening wear, and I'm doing that like edge roll hem, I would use Microtex on like say chiffon or what. If I'm using it for a lot of jerseys and knits, I would use a jersey needle or a universal needle. And this was the conversation I was having with the technician, and he also said he doesn't know what some company must have somewhere explained that you get specific overlock needles. The new modern machines they all use the same needle. Okay, if you have an old 1960 imbecile, I would test. I would take the old needle and I'll put a new needle next to it, and it needs to be exactly the same. Okay?
Bianca says her Singer something doesn't fit normal needles. The head is a fraction size thinner.
See, I told you. Singer needles are, yeah. Okay, Bianca, I can get you Singer needles. It's going to take a while. So if you desperately need them and you can't find them anywhere else, let us know on WhatsApp and we can special order them for you.
Okay. Bianca said, I love the part about tracing the pattern to paper. It's awesome help because I can't handle the soft tissue paper. It's so delicate.
No, me neither. I've actually I've literally been in such a bad place with the pattern because whatever you do with it, it just tears.
Okay.
If the wind is blowing just slightly, the pattern is... I'm cutting it. It's like you're cutting through freaking air. So I don't know why. It's just the most irritating thing.
Cheryl Grobbelaar says, you made my day. Guess who's going to buy a ton of interfacing tomorrow in order to save my pattern?
I'm telling you, it's the best thing. And if you're really good, okay, so you know that pattern paper is really crappy, okay? So when I say iron it, I mean the following. Please, guys, do not steam it. You want no water close to that pattern ever. Okay?
Well, this is so thin, it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, it's like tissue paper. It's actually tissue paper. Okay? So if you think about tissue paper that you use in a gift, a single layer, that's how thin this is. So you take your big iron and you put it on like a really low heat, because all you want to do is you want to sort of semi straighten it out. Okay? So me personally, I like, as you saw, I like cutting around the pattern, just cutting them this size. All right, but you can, if you have like 1.5 meters of that fabric and you have area, you can actually iron the whole sheet onto a piece of, but I wouldn't suggest that because you're going to waste quite a lot. There's a lot of instructions and stuff in between. So yeah, I cut them like this, and then the paper is always bigger, and then you can cut it afterwards.
Dudu says, I'm looking for a jacket or coat pattern. Where can I get it? I think I'll be able to read and cut successful due to the information I've received today. Dudu, why don't you join our WhatsApp groups, www.fabric8.co.za/WhatsApp. It takes a couple of days for us to approve you, and then you can ask on there. A lot of people know a lot of free.
Yeah. See, the thing is now we're going to tell you where to get it in KZN, and that's going to help you not. So when you're on the group, you can say, I am in Southern Suburbs, Cape Town. Anyone know where I can get patterns close to me?
Teresa says, I think after this, I will be a little bit more confident, but not totally out of load shedding. When I finally use one, I'll let you know how it went. LOL, but it won't be soon.
Yeah. Okay. And guys, remember when you measure, just a final is to measure, say we're doing my bust. I'm going to just stand up a little bit. When we're doing my bust, for instance, there's always two fingers in. Okay. And it has to be a straight back, but we've done a lesson on that also. 2 fingers in there, because you don't want to measure like this. Like, I mean, that's not your bust. Okay? You want to get it right on the pointy bits, like in Game of Thrones. Don't stick it with the pointy bit. And 2 fingers in. Right. Okay, guys. We need... Oh, is it? Yeah. Quickly, because we need to be out of here soon.
I'll ask Amanda my question about stretch. I can't remember it. I'll go look for it now. I also only use Gutermann thread in my vintage machines as it doesn't seem to lint up as much. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's a second. I use Singer needles on my vintage machines only.
I understand.
As they work the best for my 15 vintage and antique machines. On My Elna and Janome machines, I use Schmidt.
Yes, that's why I say. Did I say that? The needle sizes did change. I think around somewhere in the 70s.
Sarah says, when I trace my patterns, I use see-through dustbin bag. Oh, what? When I trace my patterns, I use see-through dustbin bags, and the advantage is that it sticks to the pattern, making it easy to trace.
Okay.
Bianca asks what, and she said because it's static. Bianca says, what's Amanda's opinion on floss thread?
Floss is a very specific type of thread, and it is used for specific functions. Floss is soft, so lots of times that's always used in underwear, undergarments like onderrokke, what is that, like petticoats. It's used in underwear. It's used in lycra leggings and things like that. Because I don't know if you, I don't have children like that, but you do get children that get irritated by small things, and this is actually floss. But for instance, a school shirt would not have floss as the loopers on the overlock, and then it can tend to be hard, especially if someone irons on it and it's a polyester thread and the polyester goes a little bit hard. So
I think we still have sound.
Why?
I don't know, we lost
camera. Something just came through. I saw the flash.
The phone's overheating now. I'm pretty sure we still have sound, so continue.
Okay, sorry guys, there seems to be, it's the summer problem. We had this last year also. We should...
Okay, it's dead.
Yeah, no, the phone is overheated. Okay, but floss is used in the loopers on overlock because it's soft and it doesn't irritate.
And we had one more question. I'm just going to...
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry about this. We're going to have to take our cooling measurements next. It's putting itself on again.
I see, so... I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm just making the face cam bigger.
Sorry, guys. Let's just unplug. Can we unplug it? It's many times it's the charging.
There you go.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Okay, one more question, then we're going home. Okay, I'm gonna...
Could Amanda advise what is best to use for two-way stretch or four-way stretch, or is that only for knit and lycra?
What you use what? Needles? We just worked on floss.
It was at the beginning, actually. What's the...
A pattern. It has to say two-way stretch or three-way stretch on the pattern. If you're talking about needles, you are best to use a stretch needle. If we are talking about floss, I would always suggest if you overlock them, which you mostly do on a two or three-way stretch, that your loopers, okay, so loopers are those little pictures on your overlocker that does this. You normally have two, a bottom looper and a top looper. If you
fabric in pattern.
If you want to use floss, you would put floss only on the loopers. Fabric and pattern for two or three-way stretch.
Okay, so she's referring to fabric in pattern. Can you advise what is the best to use for two-way stretch and four-way stretch, or is that only for knit and lycra? Fitting for pattern sizing.
Yes. A two-way and a four-way stretch mostly is a knit fabric. Okay, so when you think of your jeans that is a stretch jean, it'll stretch much more in the one way than in the other way. It'll be only slightly more stretchy. But if you think about if your pants had stretched long way, your jeans, you would be getting into it and it will actually get longer. But it doesn't. It just gets wider. Okay, so when it's a woven, it's a stretch fabric. But two-way and four-way, three-way, whatever ways, those are all knit patterns. So you have to, on the fabric selection, on suggested fabrics, it has to say knit. And many knit patterns will say two-way stretch, four-way stretch. And if you're not sure how that'll look on a pattern, go and look at a swim costume pattern, because those are swim costume patterns are depending on if you need control over the stomach or not. Depending on that, it's normally 2 or 4-way stretch.
She says thanks, that helps a lot.
Okay guys.
And Bianca said 4-way stretch is super comfy to wear.
Yeah, it is. It just needs to be a good 4-way stretch, because otherwise you're gonna get like the old sweatpants that used to made we used to call it book knee. I don't know why. Book, like buck knees. Book knee. I assume it's because I don't know. Book knee.
Guys, we're gonna call this camera the FaceTime cam.
Yes.
This is now you're on a FaceTime chat.
Yeah, sorry about that.
At least we got a camera up.
This phone is like
Bianca said Lisa always makes a plan.
this phone is very, very hot. We'll have to. Last year we had remember the little pieces of frozen fabric, because it's so hot in summer. We'd forgotten about that.
I think it just died. Because it's not reset, but it's reset itself twice. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, guys, listen. That is it. We need to get out of here before 9 for the newbies who don't know that. We're in an industrial area and they close the gates on us at 9.
And tune back next Tuesday at 7
Next week Tuesday, and we'll have a pattern next week Tuesday.
And we're gonna sew.
Yes, and sew.
Actual sewing machine stuff.
I also can just give you a quick squiz here. Look. Ooh. Quilting fabric. Yeah.
Bianca says you need a puppy cooling mat. It works amazing.
But how do I put the puppy cooling mat on the tripod, Bianca? We made our own. We took this and then put it in water and then we froze it. And then we put it behind the phone.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye. I just saw that I could really do with some.
Can you just go click on end?
I don't know. There's no end.
Yeah, one of them says end screen. It's your laptop. You have to click on it.
Top angle. It doesn't say end.
Conclusion, end, conclusion. Click on that one.
Okay. It's a laptop. Okay. Here's Amanda with her finger trying to click on this